Artlist.io. Music licensing reimagined.
Another episode of Danny's Dimensions. I'd like to give a shout out to those who watched the last show, and shout out to those who have subscribed to the channel. First off, before we get into this particulars of what we're going to be talking about, I want to let y'all know to like, share, subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you do that. And also make sure you tune in to Saturdays. We have some very good stuff going on Saturday. So tune into that as well. Hold on just 1 second. Do something real quick. So while I'm doing this, as you see the graphic on my screen, we're talking about Andy Ruiz, Ruiz-Ortiz, the fight that was on Sunday. It was a so-called pay-per-view fight. Why? I have no idea. But this is what was a pay-per-view fight at the time. So I guess that's what they decided to do. So Andy Ruiz versus Ruiz-Ortiz. So the fight was more so of a chess match than a barn burner of a fight to me. It wasn't anything spectacular in my opinion. It was a matter of the three knockdowns. Like Ruiz dropped like the first round, right? Ortiz did very, very well. I will have to say Ortiz did very well. But he's showing his abilities, his boxing abilities, his movement. Okay, Adrian says he wants to invite. I got you, AD. Hold on, let me send this man this invite. And I'm going to send an invite for anybody that wants to get on here. Bang. There it is. So back to what I was saying. The fight was very much of a chess match, more than a barn burner than anything else. I mean, it was a decent fight, man. I mean, Ruiz dropped Ortiz in the second round, right? And if not for him getting dropped those 3 times, he got dropped twice in the second round. And Ruiz, he couldn't close the show. And I think it had something to do with his inactivity. I think his inactivity had a lot to do with it. The reason why he could not close the show, and because he had been off for a year. So, excuse me, I'm doing some shit. He was off for a year, so that's the reason why he didn't look as sharp as I thought he would look. But I think Ortiz, man, he still looked very sharp, man. He still looked very sharp. He still looked like he still had some movement. He still had something left in those old legs, even though Ortiz is old enough to have fought Jack Johnson. Let me stop. But he's old enough to have fought Jack Johnson and all them other guys. But real talk, he is an old dude. But he showed some. He landed a lot of those straight left hands, man. He landed some of those straight left hands, and let me see if I could share a little bit of highlights of this fight. I'm not trying to get copywritten out here. Copywritten, so don't copy me. You know how the song, the Missy Elliott song goes. My boy, what up, Adrian?
Hey, what's up, bro? I'm trying out some headsets real fast.
You good? You good?
How's my sound?
You sound great, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Man, you're really streaming on the first night of football.
I know, right? Ain't that something?
Yeah, it is what it
I'm
is,
up.
bro.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, don't stop, man. Don't stop. But yeah, man, I was just talking about the Andy Ruiz-Ortiz fight. What did you think about it?
It pretty much went exactly how I predicted it to go.
Yeah.
Um, Ruiz, if he stays in shape,
Yep.
will definitely give, in my opinion, Usyk his probably his best match, his best like competition, outside of obviously losing to Fury. Um, so yeah, he's definitely. I don't, the thing is, Ruiz is his ceiling is not that high. You know, I don't
No.
think he could beat Usyk. I think he beats Wilder. He has zero chance against Fury. So,
Yeah, zero chance.
but listen, not everyone's going to be the best guy in the weight class. That's where people need to just chill. So,
Right.
it was a very exciting fight. Honestly, that was one of the best cards I've seen through and through. That the Isa Cruz knockout was just incredible. It was one of the it was an amazing beatdown. You love to watch a brawl like that.
Yeah, Isaac Cruz destroyed him, man.
But no, Ruiz is a great he could be the second best heavyweight in the world, by next year. So that's it, God bless him. He doesn't look like
Conceivably.
he doesn't
Yeah,
look
he
like
could be.
he could do anything. But God bless. Like I said, to be he no one beats Fury. That's the downside. You know what I mean?
I'll tell you what, though, those three knockdowns that Ruiz had over Ortiz, those were the difference in the fight and on the scorecards. The
Yeah.
scorecards were what? 113, 112, 114, 111, 114, 111. You take those three knockdowns, you have a majority draw.
Yeah. You know what? Honestly, and I haven't heard anyone say this. If King Kong was if Ortiz was like in his prime,
Right.
he could outbox Fury.
Oh, yeah. That. Yeah, I can see that, man. I can really actually see that.
So that's what a lot of people don't want to accept that, because there's never been a Cuban or a boxer with that Cuban style at the heavyweight.
Yeah, nah.
So people don't want to admit it, but the thing is, heavyweight boxing is so easy for everyone. The reason why it's so popular is because everyone knows the players, and it's really simple. Like we all pretty much know. And then when a fight's close, everyone watches it. Like Fury Wilder. The first fight was like, wow, it was crazy because they built it up, and then they came through with an exciting fight, and then the drama, the build up. Look, everyone watches it. Whereas
yeah, man,
this fight we agreed should have never been on pay-per-view, but
nah, definitely not.
It's unfortunate because do you understand how crazy of what a promotion would have been if this fight was on like Fox and that Isa Cruz knockout happened and Tank Davis is like looking left and right, looking nervous. You know what I mean? That would have blew up on the internet. That would have went viral, that knockout. And then the heavyweight fight, it would have made Ruiz one of the top guys in boxing. You know what I mean? Like promotion wise, that fight was incredible.
Yeah, it was.
Because you got a little bit of skill. The only thing that doesn't really work well for Ruiz is the way he looks. Because any casual fans look at him, they're like, bro, this guy can box. There's no way.
Right. A casual's gonna look at him like, well, how is he? He like just came out of a donut shop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's no way he could box. But yeah, I mean, be that as it may, he does. And when you actually see him fight, he's actually a skillful fighter. He just needs to stay in shape and stay active. I think we keep saying that. We preach that a lot about all these fighters. They need to stay active, man. They're not active.
No, Shakur Stevens is about to fight 3 times this year. So
Right.
Did
you hear
guys that know? Yeah, I mean, certain guys are staying active, and that's how you keep your name out. Listen, they're fighting bums anyway, so you might as well.
Stay active. Yep.
Yeah.
Did you hear the stuff that Deontay Wilder was saying? I think he said something in an interview about Tyson Fury. Me and him will never be friends because he's a cheater and all this different types of stuff. And then He said something that was really stupid to me because he was like, I'm thinking in my mind, like, why did you take the fight if you thought that Tyson Fury had illegally illegally wrapping his hands, or he had loaded?
Yeah. I mean, what
Why
Wilder's
would you take the fight?
stupid. He's got CTE.
Man, he's got something,
I mean?
man.
Because him and AJ they really need psych evals. But like realistically speaking, first, when has Wilder ever sounded competent? Like when has ever made sense when he talks?
Never.
You know, this dumbass years ago, before he got knocked out, he was talking about killing people and catching a body. Like,
yeah, he said that again. He said that again. He said that in the interview. I think it was with Boxing Scene, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. He said the reason why he took the Tyson Fury rematch is because, hey, I'm getting paid. We're getting paid to kill somebody, so I want to get my revenge.
Yeah, I mean,
what are you talking about, bro?
If you get like the experts on PEDs, like more plates, more dates. He's a YouTuber. I'm pretty sure if he had to do any analysis on Wilder Fury, he would probably lean towards more Wilder on some sort of. So, because he put on 25 pounds of weight in fucking 3 months, 4 months. Do you understand how hard that is for a professional athlete to put on weight? Because they're elite athletes. So it's not like he woke up and started, eating, drinking eggs like Rocky. It doesn't work that way, bro.
Right.
For a professional athlete to gain weight is very difficult. You're talking about a person who works out twice a day. So, even if they eat shit, their metabolism, his body type, there was no way he was putting on weight naturally. There's just no way. Not in 6 months. He put on fucking, how much weight did he increase? He was 212. He was 212 pounds. And then I think during the last fight, he was 248, something like that.
Some close. I think he was more like 230, 2. Yeah, he wanted to gain more weight for the rematch, for the third fight. Because he wanted more power, but it really messed him up.
Yeah, if you know any like professional athletes, you don't just take an extra protein shake and gain weight. It doesn't work that way, bro.
Nah, it don't.
I hate to break it to everyone that's listening. Yeah, it's easy for us to put on weight because we're not athletes. You eat Domino's and eat some fast food, for lunch, breakfast, dinner, you're going to put on 10, 15 pounds in 3-4 weeks, easy. But a professional athlete, their metabolism, their work rate, it's very, very difficult for them to put on weight, especially someone at his age. You know what I mean? But yet again, arguing with Wilder fans, it's like, you're a fool. You're a loser if you argue with Wilder.
Yeah, there's nothing.
Most of them are like Art Man. They're racist.
Bro, Art Man is crazy, bro. He has a hidden agenda. Man, I was on this boxing group, and another thing, arguing with people in boxing groups is the dumbest thing ever. This dude told me, he was saying Wilder's the best heavyweight in the world. I was like, based on what? Because they were saying something like, who's the worst heavyweight champion of all time? And someone said AJ, and I'm like, how? No. When you have all these other fighters, like
it was Roy Jones. If any, Roy Jones, that dude.
It could be Roy Jones. It could be Charles Martin.
Yeah.
It could be Hassan Rockman. I mean, no disrespect.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want. I mean, I don't want to get into all that, but the more important story is this, and I've been saying this. I've been hinting it even before AJ Fury.
Yeah,
I think what needs to happen is Wilder needs to win this next fight, which I think it's going to be tough for him because he's not that good skill wise.
Nope.
And I think you said you're actually the one who put me on. I watched some tape of his opponent. That dude could box.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Wilder has to win this fight. He has to win this fight. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about this. I think because what he's trying to do is trying to be the two-time WBC champion. So I think this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is a WBC eliminator, and so was the Ruiz-Ortiz fight.
But after the fight, they were like, "Nah, Wilder's got next."
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
It is what it is. I mean, I would like to see. I would only for like promotional purposes. I would like to see, because the thing is, unfortunately, Usyk doesn't want to fight until like March next year. Apparently, he's got like some religious bullshit.
Yeah. Yep.
And whatever, like that's respect to him. I mean, listen, I'm Muslim, so we take off Ramadan, so it is what it is.
Yeah.
But like, but Ramadan's once a month and it rotates. But I mean, what's his religion? Isn't he Catholic or some shit or Christian?
No idea.
You're gonna take off the whole month of December because of Christmas, like.
Yo, speaking of December, man, yeah, that's crazy. So I know we've been talking about in the chat as well about the whole AJ Joshua thing, and
that's the point I'm getting into.
Yeah,
look at the landscape. So no one has the only one who's got a fight booked is Wilder, and there's a chance he could lose that fight. I don't think he will, but there's a chance.
He better not for his sake.
So, but I really, like I said, I don't think he's that good, and in a lot of his fights, he's losing in a lot of his fights. His knockout is what, his power is what saves him.
Bails him out.
Yeah. Him out. I forget that one tall basketball player he boxed years ago. He was getting outboxed for like 6 rounds. Like,
you talking about Gerald Washington?
Yeah. Man,
he was getting hit. He couldn't get out of the way of one jab, man.
Yeah, that was one of the most dominant fights I seen. He was getting fucking his face boxed in, I'm like, what the hell is going on right now?
Yeah, and his power bailed him out at that point. So.
But I do think one side of me thinks there's no way that AJ Fury fight's gonna be made. But then if you actually do think about it, the reason why I think it can be made is because you have to understand those dudes in England, those English dudes, they're different. They're not like Americans, man.
They fight. They do fight.
It's not that, but they have, for whatever reason, like even if you look at that fight coming up with Conor Ben and Eubanks.
Yep.
These guys, I don't know what it is. It's like what they usually do in fight promotions and build up and just making fights, throw that shit out the window when it's like an English person versus an English person.
Right.
So I know everyone's come out, all the boxing media has come out and said it's just clout chasing. I really disagree. I think if I'm Fury, he wants to fight in the end of the year. That's his best option because Usyk doesn't want to fight. So who is he going to box? Wilder again? Well, Wilder's booked. What if he gets knocked out? You can't build that fight. Is he going to fight Jake Paul? No. Is he going to fight Ruiz? I mean, he can fight Ruiz. Is it going to sell much? Not as much as Anthony Joshua.
That's what I'm saying.
So you tell me that's what I'm saying.
That. He knows that. He knows it's only that Joshua is.
Yeah.
Because most people think like, why is he still trying to fight Anthony Joshua and Anthony Joshua is coming off of these losses? Well, he knows Anthony Joshua brings the money. But the problem I have is he put stipulations on the date, which he said December 3rd, and Anthony Joshua said I won't be ready till December 17th. So I don't know. I mean,
that date's open. That date's open right now because the only thing who just booked the fight in December? Who was it?
Oh man, who did? Somebody booked the fight.
Someone just booked the fight in first week of December. I forget who it was.
You sure did.
Shit, I can't think right now, but it ain't Bud. It ain't fucking Crawford.
Well, we know that.
So
we know that.
And you know what's crazy? Just to bash these fucking Facebook losers. They've been saying for the last 4 months, it's gonna get announced. It's gonna get announced.
Yeah,
I'm like, bro, you guys have been saying this for 4 months. You delete your post. Like, you saw me in there the other week. I was owning these cats. So,
it's just.
I mean, I've been doing it for so long. I just haven't been. It's been a decade since I've been in a boxing Facebook group. I only went in there.
You can see why, because some of these people don't even. They have their favorite fighters who they like, and they don't even know who's the best person they beat. Like I was talking to this one dude, man. This one dude was like, bro, he was like, yeah, Deontay Wilder didn't lose he beat Charles Martin for the belt. I'm like, no, he didn't. He beat Berman Stavern. How do you not know that? But yet you're saying Wilder's the best heavyweight in the world. No, you're done. You're done.
No, Wilder won't even. His parents wouldn't even say that.
You don't even know who Wilder beat.
Yeah.
for the title.
You know what? So the one thing, Danny, I wanted to ask, and yet again, I haven't been able to figure this out. Why is boxing media, all the boxing media guys, outlets, dismissing Fury? They're straight up saying him and Fury has zero chance of being made.
AJ and Fury?
Yeah, I meant AJ Fury, yeah.
Well, I would say most of the reason why they think that is because we all know that Tyson Fury contradicts himself a lot of times when he says things. So
yeah, but to dismiss it when both guys don't have a fight lined up, why not?
No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, but
everyone
I
makes
know,
sense.
even like SC
But
News, Fight Network, they're all saying this fight's not going to be made. Don't listen to Fury. This is just clout chasing.
I don't know. It could be clout chasing, but it could be a little bit of, I don't know what it is. It could be a little bit of craziness on Tyson Fury, man. We know he's not stable. So
yeah, well, just so
he
you
says
know,
a lot of things and then he backtracks on it. So
yeah, I said
that's
this
probably
a month ago.
one of the main reasons why.
Yeah, I said this a month ago, and unfortunately, the people in boxing are dumb, and they don't think the way I think, and they don't realize what kind of crazy fucking opportunity. I believe. Let me just check. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah.
So December 31st, it's a Saturday. If you have a fight, December 31st, that's New Year's Eve, obviously.
Yeah.
You have potentially, I think you could have one of the biggest events in the history of the sport, like ever. Because if you have to understand, most people are going to be home because of COVID. They're not going to go out like everyone used to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You throw out a pay-per-view with Fury. You throw some fucking Fury. Obviously, Uzyk's not in there. Fury, AJ, and then put maybe like Wilder, Ruiz in the undercard. Or, Spence Crawford on the undercard. That shit's gonna sell like 2-3 million pay-per-views.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean?
Of course, that's a big fight.
So, but the thing is, unfortunately, there's not. If you're, Spence Crawford, if they're a co-main event, they're not going to make the money. But if I'm their managers, I'm like, bro, the potential profitability and promotionability and being in one of the biggest cards of the year, you're going to make the money in the future, especially if that fight gets made, the winner. But I'm just saying they don't have a date, and all the dates in November are full. So
all of them.
I don't know when they plan on Spence Crawford, but the thing is, when you go into January, the problem with going into January is you run the risk of going head to head with UFC. The UFC will bury you. And then another thing is, after the holidays, a lot of casuals don't have money.
Mm-hmm.
And then guess what happened? What's the biggest event in America come February, first week of February?
You know how it is, man. Super Bowl.
It's the Super Bowl. Exactly. No one gives a fuck. You're that week before.
Nobody's gonna compete with that. They're not gonna compete with that.
Yeah.
By no means.
The week before, though, people do the week before, that's a big UFC. UFC usually has cards that week. They try to make it a big week. Because it's the what is it, the Pro Bowl no one watches? But are we really gonna wait until fucking February? Because I think the Super Bowl is the second week now. But are we gonna wait February for Spence Crawford, bro? Like, actually, February 17th. I think Zeus and Charlo are fighting.
I thought Charlo. You talking about Mel? Oh, yeah. Speaking of Charlo, Jamal is supposed to be fighting Janibek. That's what I hear.
Did they sign that fight?
They didn't sign it, but I'm hearing. See, I'm not. This is speculation.
Who ducked Janibek? Someone just ducked him again. Now, Boo. We all know Boo ducked him. There was another dude that said was like, "No, I'm not fighting, dude."
He must be something. Something must be up for them. They must know what's going on for them not to want to fight him or something.
No, yeah, these guys, they're not. There's no way.
High risk, low reward. That's what it is. You know how it is.
Yeah, they're used to. I mean, Jamal hasn't. I mean, he's not that good. You know what I mean? So, and he hasn't really fought good guys. So, like, he hasn't fought elite guys yet. So, He's not his brother. You can't confuse the two. So, but I thought he was moving up to 168. So that's what I'm confused. I don't even give a fuck about him, bro. Yeah, Denny. Hey, Denny.
Yeah. I'm here.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. I thought he was moving up to 168, and he wanted to fight Plant. I don't fucking know. That's what I thought.
Yeah. We got Plant Darrell too coming up. So
yeah. I mean, I don't want to change topics, but just on that, I never understood Darrell's. I don't know if you watched that press conference they had.
Yeah, I saw that joint.
He's got to take a seat and chill because bro, he's gonna get his ass kicked. But like, bro, anyone that like knows boxing, like, bro, why is he talking shit? Like, he should be thankful that he got this opportunity. You know?
Right. It's like, what has he done? Really? Every time he stepped up, he lost. He lost to Badu Jack.
Lost bad.
Right.
Yeah.
Lost to Badu Jack. He lost to Sakio. Well, he got a draw with Sakio Bika, and then he fought the rematch, and that was a majority decision. Yeah. He got destroyed by what was it, Benavidez. Easy work. So every time he stepped up, he lost. So he's talking trash about Caleb Plant like he hasn't beaten anybody, but you know what I'm saying? He
lost to everyone. So
right. You lost to everybody.
He fought Canelo.
Right.
I don't think he won.
There's no shame in losing to Canelo.
Yeah, I don't even think he won more than 2 rounds, but some people swear they're like, no, he outboxed. I'm like, bro, you can't win you can't win a round by running away and missing jabs. If you look at the way boxing is scored, Caleb Plant was losing every round. There was just no way. I think he won 2 rounds. I gave him 2 rounds.
Maybe.
But even still, like, you know, these guys think everyone's Mayweather, and if you run and you get on the bicycle and you know you just throw jabs, they have to land. It's got to be effective. You know.
Right. That's the thing, man. So we have that coming up. It makes sense, man, with the AJ Fury thing, man. They're both not, you know.
Yeah.
I
got a sense from Shakur's last few interviews. I feel like he's going to move up after this fight.
I mean, he's going to move up eventually. There's no other alternative for him. I mean, he's looking at and just look at what he's doing as opposed to what Tank Davis. And see, that's another thing, man. These idiots, they will tell you that Tank Davis is a three division champion, but do you know that 2 of those divisions are not? He was the WBA champion, but he was not the super champion. He was a regular champion. This is all these variations of belts, because a casual will tell you, Tank Davis is a three-weight champion. No, he's not. He's not.
That means nothing. Being a champ, if you mention champion in boxing to me, I'm like, no one cares, because it doesn't
matter anymore.
Yeah, but that was the date in December. Apparently, they booked, I think, December 10th for Ryan Garcia and Tank, allegedly.
Well,
that's the date that, listen, that's usually, believe it or not, unlike Spence Crawford, where it's just all rumors and just like hearsay, that's the way Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia are. When they get quiet, you know what I mean? That's when you know the talks are serious. And then they leak a date just to get a feel, because yet again, you want if they pick, let's say that's the date they want, that'll, like, if I'm Tank Davis and Ryan Garcia, when we talk, like, listen, bro, Spence Crawford be made. Let's say fuck you. Let's just put this out there, leak out the date, so that way no one goes. Because if you're Spence Crawford, PBC, you're not going to want to book the same days Tank Davis, Ryan Garcia.
No.
That fight will fucking literally lose PBC millions. They won't let it happen, obviously, because it's going to be a co-promote. So that won't ever happen. But, like, there's levels. So, like, obviously there's McGregor, Mayweather. You know, you never want to fight when those guys are fighting. And then there's, you know, Canelos of the world. And then like Usman's, the guys
Yep.
that can maybe hit like 800,000, 900,000, or even $1 million. But and then there's the next tier, which would be guys that could sell 300,000, like maybe like Wilder, with a good opponent, just examples. You know what I mean? I'm just throwing out some names. I'm missing a lot of names.
So,
but,
Bob Arum said today, 7 hours ago, I was looking at this interview. Bob Arum said that there will be no AJ Fury. He says Fury's going to either fight Otto Wallin a rematch. I'm like, what? Why? Or someone else. And I think Eddie Hearn, because I'm looking at this, Eddie Hearn said that what does he have? He has plan B if the Fury fight doesn't go through. He's saying Hrgovic, Wallin, or Jean.
That doesn't make sense.
I mean, it doesn't for either guy.
Yeah, but that's not Bob is not his promoter, so who cares what he says?
So why is Bob saying that?
Yeah, he's not even his promoter.
Isn't Frank Warren? Your thing is, AJ can't fight on
unofficial.
The only thing is
he only does.
Yeah,
I believe he signs the one fight deals. Like he's a fucking gypsy. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, so it may be a cross promotion problem, maybe because AJ can't fight on BT Sport, and Fury, he's not going to try to. He may not go to the zone.
No, they could make it work because all they have to do is split the revenue, and then whichever. AJ's got no power in this. Like you know what I mean? It's going to be whatever Fury wants. Because for AJ, it's just another payday. But like, I don't even think he wants to fight. To be honest with you,
AJ, I don't think he. I mean, honestly, coming off of 2 straight losses, business sense, it makes sense. But as far as like for his career, it doesn't necessarily make sense. Because I mean, he's been thrown into the fire. I mean, look, he's been fighting in world championship fights since his 16th pro fight. Not a lot of fighters can say that they won a title in their 16th pro fight. I mean, you got Lomachenko won it in his like 2nd, 3rd or something pro fight.
Different weight classes, but
definitely different. When you're doing it as a heavyweight, though, I don't know if I know any heavyweight in history that's won a title in their 16th pro fight.
Yeah, the thing is, it's it depends. I still think he has confidence, but like he just admitted in the ring that he's not the better. Usyk just showed that it's all about skill, and he got outboxed like completely.
Yeah, it's a bad stylistic matchup for him now to go up against another boxer after you just finished losing twice to one boxer. Now you're gonna fight a bigger guy who does the same thing that Usyk does. It's a bad right now. I don't think it's not a good stylistic matchup for him right now.
I mean, if I'm him, you might as well do it because if I'm his management, I'm like, listen, let's be real. I don't know how much more you can improve. And at this point, like, what are you going to do? Train in America for another year? You're not going to fight Usyk anytime soon. Nope. You could fight 2 or 3 bums, potentially beat them. What if you get lucky versus Fury? You become the king in the fucking castle.
That's a good way of thinking it. See, I didn't think of it from that standpoint.
Because any way you look at it, he's going to be irrelevant competitive-wise for at least a year and a half, 2 years.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because he's still bringing
money. Like, he could wait 2 years and guess what? Be in the same spot he is today.
That's true.
But he won't get that Fury fucking offer.
Nope.
So
you're right.
That's why a lot of boxing media, most boxing media, they don't know shit about the business aspect of boxing.
Yeah, because they're the outside looking in. They're not in the business part. They're not promoting.
They don't get that. It's not a sport. It's a business.
It's a business.
And then you could be in the gym, and I say this respectfully, Coach Rob, like you could be in the gym knowing who the guys are and knowing about the fucking X's and O's and game plan. But in the end of the day, none of that matters because, look, you can make an argument that Bud Crawford is the most skilled, best boxer in the world, and no one gives a fuck about him, bro.
That's because he's not self-promoting himself.
Yeah, but you see
and he's not active.
It's a business, man. It's not a fucking sport.
It's not about the sport. Yeah.
And that's why I'm saying, like, that's what boxing media and boxing fans, They have to ingrain that in their fucking heads. Bro, no one cares about the X's and O's in boxing.
Not
No one cares
anymore.
about what goes on in the ring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in the ring itself. Like,
In the ring.
oh, he throws a left hook like, perfect. And no one gives a shit.
You got to promote yourself. Look at Rolly.
Yeah. No, but I'm not saying the promoting. I'm not
promoting
saying
himself very well. He can't fight.
No. Danny, look past the promotion. I'm saying in an aspect of like when you discuss boxing, you have to look at it as in a business sense with fights that are going to be made or potentially made. You know what I mean? That's why I said, like, when I look at AJ, it's like, yeah, we know he's going to lose, but we're not. Don't look at it as if it's a boxing match. Look at it as a business because AJ may never get that opportunity again. Yeah,
that's true.
So
Isaac Cruz wants a Gervonta Davis rematch.
Yeah, Davis will never give a rematch. It's not going to happen.
I don't think so either. I don't see it.
Isaac Cruz beats him in a rematch on a full camp. He took that fight in 10 days notice?
Yeah, he did. And it was one of the scores was 115-113.
I had it.
Say what you will.
I have to look at my scorecard, but I think I gave Isaac Cruz 4 rounds, and that was worst case, best case. I gave him 5 rounds.
So. Yeah, because he definitely showed his abilities that night.
He's
pressing Davis.
Since that fight, who's looked
he
better?
made Davis look like he was a pure boxer that whole night. Davis was trying to counterpunch like he was Floyd or something.
Yeah,
you didn't see the normal.
I want you to ask this question to fans and media, everyone. Since Isaac Cruz, Tank Davis, who has looked better since they both fought?
Isaac Cruz.
Yeah, bro, he looks like fucking.
That's an easy question.
Bro, he's on demon time when that fucking bell rings, bro.
That's an easy answer to that question.
You know,
that's Isaac Cruz all day, especially with what he did on the Ruiz-Ortiz undercard.
Yeah, if this shit was not on pay-per-view, this would have been all over ESPN. He put that fucking dude in the next real, bro. The next dimension, bro.
Yeah, he destroyed him, bro. He destroyed him.
That takes skill for him to put his head in, and he fought like a skilled guy. It's not like he just fought some tomato can on one of these top-ranked PBC undercards. You know,
right.
He fought a skilled guy and just fucking he willed it. You know what I mean? He made that shit happen. So,
yo, he sure did, man. So, man, well, this. What else we got going on, man? We got any other fights coming? I don't think there's any fights really coming up.
You got 4 coming up. You got Wilder. I mean,
you got Wilder versus Hellenius. We know that.
Yeah, Triple G Canelo.
We got that. Yeah. I know with the women we got Shields and Marshall.
Is that this week or next week?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a fight. I'm gonna do a fight party thing on Saturday for you, so everybody watch it.
Where are they fighting?
In the O2 Arena.
Oh, England. So we're gonna have to have that weird fucking time.
Yeah, so it's probably gonna come on at like 4:00 or something. So for all my UK fans that subscribe,
I'm just giving you a heads up. That fight's gonna flop.
Think so?
Yeah, it's gonna flop big time. And
who wins that fight?
I
know you're not really interested in.
It's not that. It's
Shields. Just, I know you're not really high on
It's not
Shields.
that. It's just Clarissa Shields isn't that good.
Right.
But unfortunately for her, girls at that weight, a lot of her opponents aren't even full-time athletes, bro. Like,
yeah, she's been talking a lot of trash, and she did get destroyed in MMA though.
Yeah,
but so much trash leading up to the fight, talking about, you wish you had a gold medal, you wish this, you wish that. I've been looking at the promotion of it for just
in a gold medal in which no one competes in. Like, let's be real.
But she's fighting a girl that beat her in the amateurs though.
Yeah. I mean, Usyk lost to fucking Porter in amateurs. Like,
that's true. So amateurs really don't mean nothing. But
yeah.
On the other hand, you have Shane Mosley and Vernon Forrest. Vernon Forrest beat Shane in amateurs, and he beat him in the pros twice. So
yeah.
It's not always the norm.
There's obviously levels to it, and then obviously it's a mental game. But like, let's say you took a fucking 3-hour drive this amateur fight the morning of, and
Mhm.
your ass woke up at 5 o'clock. You got there at like 10 a.m. You know, you were cramped up in a little car, and you fought a dude in his hometown. Like, you know what I mean? You're not gonna always have a good night when you're amateur.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
My a
So
lot of
many, so many
my
things
two
that come
cousins
into
that
amateur
box,
fights.
they traveled throughout the world, throughout the country, throughout the world. They beat the people's hometowns. They completely outboxed them, knocked them down a few times, and they still lost. So like, it is what it is, bro.
Yeah, that's true. That's
It's
true.
amateur boxing. That's
It's
why I'm so
politics
glad
too,
to.
Lord. Hey, you know there's gonna be no boxing in the Olympics in I think it's 2028. No
Yeah,
more
as it should be.
boxing has been omitted.
They should. I'm glad they got rid of it.
Really?
Yeah,
Why do you
I'm
think
glad
it should be that way?
it
I'm
should
interested
because
in
it's it's such a corrupt sport, the
yeah,
amateur level, that
especially the amateur.
there's no fixing it. You can't with the commissions and the way that the USA boxing and the national, the federal, I mean not the federal, the how the Olympic trials were run. The rule set makes no fucking sense.
Yeah,
Everything
it's
about it,
stupid. Man. It's
it's
stupid.
stupid. You can't do it. You can't have boxing in the Olympics. It's just not feasible.
And not only that, the Olympic teams are not what they used to be back in the day. You're never going to see an Olympic team like the 1984 Olympic team with Mildred Taylor and Holyfield and all those guys. Purnell. You're never going to see Olympic teams like that. And USA hasn't really been doing anything. Actually, Andre Ward was the last gold medalist for the USA. Andre Ward and Clarissa Shields, believe it or not. I don't think Shakur didn't win gold. So nah, I mean the USA boxing team is not the same. Like you said, the rules is not the same. Nothing's the same. It's just stupid. It's corrupt. You get set up. You get robbed. It used to be like when you had an Olympic when you went to the Olympics, you automatically on your first pro debut was going to be big time, like $500,000 on your pro debut. Like
Yeah.
most guys, if you won the
Well,
gold.
I'll put it to you this way, right? The main reason why it doesn't make sense is because you really don't want Olympic athletes boxing and taking head trauma in a tournament, like in a
Yeah,
grand, like you're gonna need it. Like if the thing is, you really want to plan it where you organize it, where you get the best of the best. But the problem is there's so many people in the sport. How are you gonna ever get a true like? You're never gonna get a true roster in the whole world of boxers, because
yeah,
it's an individual sport. So like,
that's
just
true.
in America alone, you can't get the best. What are you gonna get? Three guys at 147? Like, there's no way. There's too many, you
Yeah, that's
know,
true. That's
and you
true.
can't. It's not built for the
Not
Olympic
anymore.
trials. It doesn't make
Not
sense.
anymore. Nope.
Yeah, and it
Not
shouldn't.
anymore.
It's always been corrupt. That's the
Oh
problem.
yeah, man. People be getting robbed, and I mean, you look at the
Yeah.
Holyfield got robbed. Roy Jones got robbed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, my worst cousin was 2 years ago. He was the number one ranked middleweight in the world, amateur. And yet again, as I said, he kept competing. He would just go to places, and he would, like I said, he would beat the hell out of dudes and lose. And then like the one amateur for the like last year, I was there live, bro. He was dominating this guy. He knocked him down, standing 8 count. And the next round, the first, like the guy like doesn't even land the jab, but like it just like barely like hits him. The referee jumped in and started doing a 10-8 count. In my the
what?
yeah, my wife's gonna like, wait. He's like, I barely got hit. And he's like, why are you counting? And then
Bro,
he was trying to stop the fight. And I was like, oh, bro, they're trying to rob you, bro. Like,
I'm telling you, bro, it's a hidden agenda, and it's like
yeah,
these amateur boxers are thinking like, what's the point of the Olympics? I'm not. I'm
yeah,
gonna go overseas, and I'm gonna set myself up to get not even medal or get robbed. What is it worth?
yeah.
Well,
He went to Ecuador. Oh, so he went to the Olympic trial. He
uh-huh.
got to the finals in the boxing. They were in Ecuador or some bullshit. 30 seconds in, gets headbutted, clear as day, gets a cut. without the doctor going in, they stopped the fight and they gave the opponent won.
On TKO?
Yes.
Oh man. See, that's what I'm saying.
But they said because it's tournament, they had to pick a winner, and I'm like, bro, that's fucking sucker shit, bro.
Yeah, that's bro. You can't do stuff like that, man. So yeah, I mean, in that case, I understand why Olympic is being.
Anyone that says otherwise doesn't know shit about organizing a sport and has no idea what the fuck they're talking about. They're just gonna bitch and complain.
They don't even watch though. It's the people that complain. You don't watch Olympic boxing, so why do you even care anyway?
It is really hard to watch amateur boxing because, like,
it is.
They can't figure out a fucking schedule. You never know what time they're fighting. Like, I've been through it. I've tried to watch a lot of my cousin's fights. Yeah. I've spent 6 hours just waiting to watch a fight.
It's all over the place, man. The schedule, like you said, the timing, like all that stuff that goes on.
Yeah.
Sometimes a fight gets canceled, and you got another opponent that you didn't even prepare for that you got to go in.
I can tell you this right now: the biggest problem in amateur boxing is the Mayweathers of the world, these scumbags who made billions and trillions. They have to put the money back into the sport, and they haven't. Like, if I'm Mayweather, right? I got all this money and I'm bragging, whatever. Sell one of your Bugattis, and just in one Bugatti, you could easily set up enough funding to run an actual, real amateur, like an amateur system. You know what I mean?
That's a good idea because I never understood why any of these pro fighters or these legends in the sport never tried to do anything with the amateur program. They only thing they do is they do with the pros.
Well, Mayweather did lie because remember Mayweather came out with the money team, which if you look at it, they're not a promoter. It's a complete fraud. The money team is not they're not like some sort of for promotional fight camp. Tank Davis did not train with Mayweather. Like, let's not get shit twisted.
No.
Tank Davis was not a product of the money team.
No.
You know? So
he wasn't.
So he was pushing this money team, but he never really took care of anybody. Yeah. He never he there's no prospects that came out of Mayweather for Mayweather's camp, right? Because it isn't a camp. It's all fraud.
Right.
So the thing is, in football, right? In the town I live in, this dude grew up in this town, the town I live in. He went to the NFL, became an all-pro. And guess what? He's 40-something years old. That motherfucker's on the field every day coaching kids. High school,
right.
8U, 10U, 13U. He made money, and he donates to the league all the time, helps them out with, the field and everything. That's what you're supposed to do, man. You gotta bring it back at least to your hometown, at least.
Right. You have an obligation to the sport that birthed you, basically.
Yeah.
That gave you the opportunity to be who you are. You owe it to the sport,
You owe it. That's what I'm saying. Mayweather, if he wasn't such a scumbag, right? If he had anyone that, I mean, listen, he knows how to make money, God bless him, but like at some point he should focus on changing his image from being someone who beat the shit out of his baby mom and kids and went to jail. To someone who has some sort of self-respect, which it is what it is. He does. It's his image. He can do whatever he wants. But if I'm him, I would strongly suggest, like, bro, come up with an amateur system, and then listen. All the titles can be named after you. You're gonna win the Mayweather title in your weight class. So that way, in 50, 60, 100 years from now, guess what? The amateur level is gonna be like, oh, I got the Mayweather title, and then like. Kids in 100 years, 50, 60 years, they're going to be like, they're just going to say it like it's natural. Like the Lombardi trophy,
Right. Telling you, bro, you should be a promoter, man.
Yeah, be a promoter. I can't. Okay. I do enough. I do promote I do run a football league. I have 6 teams, but that's a whole nother, that's all volunteer. And it's a lot of work, man.
Yeah, man.
But no, this is what, like I said, this is what needs to happen because the amateur system in America is just so
trash.
Up. And like, just think about it now with the laws change with the NIL, and you could promote the amateurs could get paid from their likeness.
Yep.
Bro, imagine Shakur Stevens as an amateur. He would have got some crazy deals. He would have stayed as an amateur till, you know,
Right.
he's a little bit older. He would have
Yep.
got paid, and then you build superstars that way. We need to
Yep.
start building stars in America. You know what I mean? That's what
It hasn't
we
happened in
don't
so
do that.
long. That's why we don't have any gold medalists like that, because we
Yeah.
haven't built them from the ground up. You know.
But me personally, as I said for years, I've been telling my friends, family members, I was like, bro, if I was one of these fucking guys that made money off the internet doing fucking bitcoins or whatever, fucking bullshit frauds, Amazon warehouse deal, whatever, I would have easily set up a amateur system, bro. That you get a nightly spot, okay? I'm sorry, like you get one spot, like let's just say like Friday nights on Friday nights. ESPN Plus would definitely easily
Easy.
sign that over right away. They'll give it to you. They'll give you money for platform, especially if it's amateur, and you build up some fights. You do some YouTube videos. You do a YouTube channel, building up who the fighters are, and then you do a little ranking system, bro. You have a roster because it's amateur. You fly them out, and I want to even do what the UFC's doing. Open up one of these training institutes. You know what I mean? Because a lot of these kids, they come from poor areas.
Right.
If I don't know if you ever heard of the PI, the UFC PI.
Yeah,
bro,
yeah.
It's a whole. You live there, sleep, eat, train. They have everything there.
That's every day. 24/7.
So just imagine what kind of athletes you could have if, and you know what pisses me off? Mayweather's from fucking
Grand Rapids.
No. He's from he's actually from Jersey. He's not from Grand Rapids, but he's from New Brunswick.
Lives in Vegas now. So
but so the UFC PIs in Vegas, you would think for Mayweather at least with all that money, he owns Vegas for the most part, bro. Open up a warehouse and why don't you do it?
Right.
And then if he had a real promotion company, he could just have his fighters go there for now. But he doesn't have a real promotion company. He only promotes himself.
Right. And he's using these other fighters to basically promote.
Yeah, but if I'm him, at least start with the amateur. Create a little place like that. And like if there's an amateur named Tank Davis in Baltimore, you got to get him out of Baltimore, bro. He's going to get killed or robbed.
That's what I'm saying, bro. You got to get these
You know?
You got to get
take care of the youth. You got to take care of the youth. Imagine if you're 15, right? Let's say you're 15, 16, and you've been boxing since you were like 6, 7, and you're pretty good. And someone from Mayweather's, camp contacts you. Hey, listen, you talk to the family. We could fly him out here. We'll train him full. Your kid ain't in fucking school anyway. Bring your kid here, or let's just say, just to be safe, to make more after 18. Bring him. He could train full time here, learn how to be a pro, go through a training camp. Let him try 12 weeks. He's got a fight on this date. Let him try it. It's free.
That's a good thing, man. Because
that's how you build the community, man. Listen,
you're giving back. Yep, you're giving back to the community,
back.
and you're building the sport of boxing at the same time.
And think about it: how much money? You're not talking about people like me and you. You're talking about someone. For him to do this, it's maybe 1% of his wealth.
Of course, it's easy money for him.
Yeah, and then just think about like that kid, if he grows up and becomes a world champion, you just changed the life of someone.
Yeah, you just had a hand in that.
Yeah.
Of course, they're going to give back as well, and it's going to continue. The cycle is going to continue.
Yeah. Well, this is unfortunately in America. And look. Actually, I'm only going to say in America. Look at Khabib. The first thing he did was open up a gym, and everyone in Dagestan now has the ability to every sport. He didn't spend any money on any bullshit. You know what I mean?
Right.
He opened up a facility in Dagestan, and now they're all fucking, training like animals.
Yeah.
So, listen. I'm hoping to do that for my people in Albania. You know what I mean? I told a bunch of my friends and family. I said, right now my kids are young, and I'm involved in soccer, flag football, eventually football. I want to bring it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it's all about, bro. That is what it's all about, bro. You know. Well, we're coming to the end of our telecast. Adrian, you got anything else to say before we head up out of here?
No, man. We need some fights to be made, man. Because
Bro, we
if you
need
were if you were an MMA fan, you could have a podcast 3-4 days a week, and you would have new shit to talk about.
right. Boxing is kind of iffy. This is sometimes we're talking about the fights that are not being made, or the drama of people talking about, oh, this fight's gonna be made, oh, this is gonna be made, but it's not made. Just talking about
and that's why boxing there's
fights.
no that's why real media doesn't cover boxing, because you can't cover rumors and fantasy. It's got to be legit, you know.
It is. That's all it is, man. It's not legit.
Yeah, fantasy boxing.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
and then you YouTube boxing, and Artman pulls up, and you're like, wait, this guy's a racist piece of shit. Fuck this sport. I'm not getting involved.
This dude, man. I don't have no words for that dude, man.
All right, bro. Listen, I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
We'll be in contact, man.
Yes, sir. All right, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Shout out to my boy Adrian out there. And thank you for everybody for coming out and tuning into this. It's another episode of Danny's Dimensions. Appreciate y'all for coming out. I appreciate everybody for talking today. We out of here. Peace.